Hey, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and today we're going to do another gear review. This time, it's the Lexin LX-B4FM Motocom. Yep, another Bluetooth headset communication unit. So, I've done one video on the FODsports, and we'll throw a link to that up above here. But we're going to see how this one works and compare it to that as well, because that's the only one I've ever used besides this. So if you've watched that FODsports video, you'll know I'm starting out reviewing low-end Bluetooth communicator sets that are more economical, and I'm looking for one that I can do dual moto vlogging with, and maybe even possibly use without a helmet. Missouri, where I live, has recently repealed the helmet law, or at least modified it, where I personally don't have to wear a helmet, and sometimes when it's hot, I don't. But I'd still like to be able to take phone calls and talk to other riders via earbuds with a mic. So, let's see if this thing can get any of that done and how it compares to the FODsport. All right, let's unbox this thing and see what we have in here. There's the unit. Take the top tray out. We have a charging cord, a bag full of goodies. These are all typical stuff you find in the unit like this. 2 speakers and a boom mic. That boom mic is for use with a half helmet or an open face helmet. These speakers come with a hook and loop pad attached to them. There's hook and loop on the speaker itself already. These are made with a 3M adhesive peel back. So you peel that off and you can stick it on a slick spot. Or if your helmet already has hook and loop, you could attach it there. Or you can put hook and loop in it with these. So there's the mic that usually comes with one for a full face helmet with 3M adhesive, so you can stick it on the inside of your full face helmet. Pretty typical stuff here. Now, to turn this unit on and put it in pairing mode, you press and hold the power button for 6 seconds. Once it's in pairing mode, those little lights will start flashing back and forth, blue and red. Get your phone, scroll to your Bluetooth settings, find the device that's available, click on the LX-B4FM, and it's connected and the lights will quit blinking. That easy. No pin, no special stuff there. So we got this thing connected. Now, there's instructions that come with it. I've already read through those. That's why they're not in the box. That was how I knew how to do this already. I didn't want to waste your time with me thumbing through instructions trying to figure it out. Now I'm going to show you some clips of me riding with this thing talking to the FODsports MS1 Bluetooth headset. And I've recorded the audio from the FODsports side so you can see what it sounds like, and on my side. I will say, after testing it, it does work with the universal pairing to connect it to something like the FODsports, which is a different brand unit. But the intercom's not as simple as pressing the normal intercom button. You have to go through a special sequence to connect it for universal pairing. After I show you that clip, we're going to come back and I'm going to tell you what I thought about this unit after using it a little bit and mounting it on a helmet.
I have a 3/4 hour helmet on with the visor, but I don't have the visor all the way down in front of the mic yet. I don't know how bad the wind noise will be. I'm really going for range right now. Let's see if this works. Test. The helmet recording the audio, FODsports inside, not even 100 meters away. So I'd say right here we're probably 100 meters, and we have a wall between us. So who knows if it's even still connected. We're probably pushing 200 meters. Put the visor down and bring it
Up inside the visor. definitely 300 meters or so in here. I'm getting in that ballpark. I'm going to turn around right here. I would be surprised with it being inside the house if we're still connected, but if we are, that's plenty good enough. You know, for 2 to 4 bikes, we should never be that far apart. I don't know if this will auto reconnect when I get in range here.
Yeah, there's some backbeat. Maybe we're back in range. I'm hearing myself. That's odd.
All right, guys. So there were some clips of me riding and talking to the FODsports unit and recording the audio and testing the range and things. So I think that worked all right. I got close to 200 meters before I lost the connection. Remember, the FODsports is on a helmet that was inside the house, so we were also going through an exterior wall and trees in the way and things like that. So not disappointed with the range or the quality of the audio, but I'm going to tell you some things that I think can be improved on this and how it compares to the FODsports after using it a little bit. So I don't like the mount. First and foremost, the mount on the back of this thing has these 2 little lines here. They're little notches, ridges or whatever, but they slide down into the mount. So when you're putting this on a helmet, you're pushing down to insert into the mount, which is pushing the mount off the bottom of the helmet, because that's how it goes on, is from the bottom. So you're pushing it loose every time you put this on. And to take it off, you just push up with force. There's no release mechanism. So eventually that spring or clip that's holding this is going to weaken and it's not going to stay on as well. You could probably use the 3M adhesive tape to put it on your helmet. It might be a little more stable, I guess, but I didn't really want to put 3M adhesive on my helmet. I didn't like the way it clipped on. I've got the FODsports on my helmet with the clip and no adhesive, and it works great. The FODsports go in like this and rotate back, and there's a little clip that holds it, and then you can press on the top of it to kind of release that and rotate it back out. So the movement's not doing anything that tries to push the mount off of the helmet. Also, I'll show you a close-up of these buttons here, but they're raised up. So the power button is in the shape of the power symbol, and there's a little helmet with a speaking kind of thing coming out of it for the intercom button, then volume up and down. I don't like the buttons being raised in those shapes because you actually have to find those raised areas and press on those to press the button. They don't need to be in those shapes because when it's on the side of your head, you're not looking at it. You don't know what shape it is. You're just trying to feel for a button. A bigger, more obvious button would be much better off. You can put a decal that has power symbols and intercom symbols for when you're using it and looking at it. You don't need the buttons to be raised. You're not going to be able to tell what they are with your fingers, and you're damn sure not going to be able to tell what they are when you're wearing gloves. I felt the volume up and down buttons are placed too close together in the middle. So if you don't come from an edge and try and find it, it's not easy to tell which one you're on. If you're reaching back, you have to try to reference from the top or the bottom to make sure you're on the right one. I think it'd been much better if these buttons were bigger and at the edges, so you can reach back, find the top, bring your fingers down and press and know you're on the volume up. Start at the bottom, bring your thumb up till you feel a button, press and know you're at the volume down. Come from the back side in 1/4 inch and press, and you should be on the power button or intercom button or whatever that feature is. But I think that's something that can be improved in the design. Some people might like this. I didn't. The one thing I do think that they did better than the FODsports was the charging port. I was able to charge this with multiple cables. I didn't have to have the cable that came with it. As I said in my FODsports video, that's a flaw in the FODsports. If you lose that cable, you're going to be cutting up a cable or trying to, whittle it down to make it fit up inside that shouldered area to get in there and charge your unit. So they got that right. All right, you guys probably know how affiliate links work, but there'll be a link to the Lexin Bluetooth unit that we're doing the review on here in the description down below. That'll take you to a link to it on Amazon where you can buy it if you'd like. If you don't want to buy it, just click the link and go shop on Amazon and buy something else. Being it's an affiliate link, I'll still get a small commission off of anything you purchase. So even if you're not going to buy the unit, if you're going to go buy something else and you click the link, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you a dime, and your support is greatly appreciated. There's also links to the other Bluetooth headset communicator I reviewed, the FODsports, as well as to some of the camera gear I use on the channel, GoPros, the Canon M50, etc. So, thanks for watching. Back to the review. I did find out through testing with my earbud and mic setup that I was hoping to use this with for a helmetless communicator that will not work. The audio quality, even listening to music, is bad unless you press in on the click button for the pause and play on the mic, but most of those types have. And then when you're pressing in and holding that, suddenly the volume is right. So there's something wrong with impedance or something else in the connection, but it doesn't work with other earbud sets. You need to use the proprietary, well, I shouldn't say proprietary, but you need to use the headset that came with it for it to work correctly. I tried using the headset I had with it to make a phone call or to do Siri, and it would not pick up the mic correctly, and the audio didn't sound good. So no dual vlogging with this, no using it helmetless. It needs to be used like it was intended, on a helmet with the mic and speakers that came with it. And that's not a fault of its own, it's just not what I was hoping to be able to do with it. Other than that, no real complaints about the unit. The other thing that I found I didn't like as well as the FODsports is on the FODsports you can press a button and say, hey Siri, do this, do that, and it does it right away. On this one, if you're playing music, you have to press a button, wait a few seconds for it to go to standby mode, and then it's listening for your voice, and then you can say, hey Siri, do this. But there's not that same immediate ability to get into hey Siri if you're already doing something like listening to music or on intercom. You have to press a button, wait several seconds before you can do the hey Siri thing. So another area I see for improvement. If you had multiples of these and you just want to communicate with someone, they probably work better in that scenario. That's just not what I was hoping to do with it. I was hoping to use it with the FODsports I already have, or to be able to dual vlog with it, or use it helmetless, and I can't do any of those things the way I'd like to. So I'm not going to keep this unit. I'm going to get it sent back, but I'm not saying it's bad. I just think the buttons and some of the design for the interface could be improved, and I like some of the things with the FODsports better. In fact, I like everything with the FODsports better except for the charging port. So there we have it. That's what I think about this Lexin unit. Now the FODsports were $160 for a pair, so they ended up being $80 a unit. This one was $80 a unit when I bought it for a single. You might get it cheaper with the pair. I also saw it on sale on a special for about $65 on Amazon, so you may be able to get it for less. And if you're wanting to use this thing by yourself just to listen to music, like while you ride or something like that, it probably works pretty good for something like that. If you're trying to talk with other riders that may have different brand units, the setup for that is much more complicated. Multi-rider setup is much more complicated. Even within the Lexin universe, you're supposed to signify if this unit's at the beginning or the end or in the middle. And at least that's the way it looked to me from the instructions, and I thought that was a little more complicated than it needed to be. So, again, for some things, I'm sure it works great. If you're trying to use it with multiple units, not so great. If you want to dual vlog with it, not so great. If you want to try and use it helmetlessly, not going to happen. But again, I'm trying to do things with it that are beyond the scope of what they say its capabilities are, what it's designed for. So take it with a grain of salt that just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it may not work for you. All right, guys. Well, it looks like I'll be going on to the next Bluetooth headset unit that I think I can find that I might be able to set up a dual vlogging with. I'm probably going to have to step up my game and go to a higher price bracket. These were the only two I saw in the lower price bracket that I thought I could make maybe work. So if you like this video, you think it's helpful, go ahead and share it out with any of your friends that might be looking for a Bluetooth communicator. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you do that YouTube thing, check out the content on my channel. And if you dig it, you can hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to ring that bell to be notified the next time I drop a new video. And as always, thank you for your support. Stay safe and keep on riding.